The reason we're on social media is because Eric Schmidt was on our board and he said, you need to get on social media and send The Economist out to the world. So that was about 2 years ago now we started with that experiment in social media. The newspaper's been going since 1843, but now in 2015 we started a social media team, and we've realised that social media has been very, very useful to us. There's a lot of challenges in social media, but it's been very useful for us to get our journalism out to new audiences. I mean, for example, in our subscriber base, our biggest subscriber base is the US. And actually, a Pew Research Centre survey told us that 60% of people in the US haven't even heard of us. So we need to reach those audiences, and the way we do that is social media. The publisher, the newspaper, the editors, the journalists, we're independent, we have to be independent. And that's what our audiences want from us. They want to trust us and they want independent journalism. That's the key. We have to be independent. So we're using social media as a tool. It's one of our tools to get our newspaper out there. For instance, it gives us a lot of learning as well. We can learn from our digital audiences what kind of things they like to read, what kind of things, and how many times they read us, and how many times they watch us, in fact, because we're being watched a lot more than we're being read at times. So we can measure our audiences and find out more about audiences. When it was traditional print, if somebody picked up your newspaper from a newsstand, you didn't know anything about them. You don't know why they picked that newspaper up. You don't know what they read from that newspaper. You had, traditionally you had reader surveys you used to send out to people. And I don't think we learnt a lot from that. So yeah, we have to stay completely independent, but we realise what social media is. It's a great tool for us. We've seen a huge fight recently with fake news or disinformation, whatever you want to call it, misinformation. We've seen a huge fight with the audiences who have been repulsed by that, and they've logged everybody together. So they've logged all publishers together and said, you know, we don't trust you. And we actually last year, in October 2016, were the newspaper that came up with the winning idea for the Trust Project. And the Trust Project takes us into publishing our guidelines on how we do our journalism and how important journalism to us, what we believe as a newspaper. And that's useful for humans, so they can read our guidelines and see, they can trust us. But it's also useful for machines. So Google, for instance, there's a few search engines now who are getting into their algorithms recognizing that certain newspapers have got these trust signals, and that's hopefully they're going to learn how to serve content to audiences. I think audiences are a lot smarter about what's going on, and they are able to see the difference between what is you know, a trusted news source and what is not a trusted news source. And we can help with that by basically keep doing what we always did, be independent and, you know, tell the truth. And social media can help us with signals, for instance. They can help audiences with more badging, you know, resurfacing our content, etc. So there's got to be a relationship there whereby if social media want to survive, they have to tell people the truth too, because audiences are getting more and more less tolerant of fake news. I don't think you can get journalists to lose their independent streak. That's what a good journalist is. You know, a good journalist is somebody who tells the truth. So whichever tool we're using today, whether it be social media or a physical delivery truck, we want to get our stories to you. And we want to get our stories to you because we feel they're important and we're telling you something about the world that you probably didn't know. And sometimes we're telling you things you didn't even know you wanted to know. So there has to be a complete independence. And we have to know that social media is a tool, and that's the line. This is my first time in Buenos Aires, and I really like it. I'm bit upset that I didn't learn a lot of Spanish before I came here. I've learned how to say coffee with milk, but apart from that, I'm really loving it. It's a beautiful city, and it's a great collective of minds sharing information. That's what WAN-IFRA is doing. It's just I'm learning a lot, and I'm also it's giving me conclusions which I've already known, and I'm glad that the industry is together on certain things, and I'm glad the industry is talking about these very important things on how we deal with social media and how we make sure audiences are reading us and seeing us and watching us and hearing us and all of this kind of